Good morning, everybody. How are you all today? It's so peaceful here today, and the sun is out. It's gorgeous, but there's been a little bit of a disaster. Come on, let me show you. So, when was I last here? About 3 or 4 days ago. And I knew that we were due for a lashing of rain and a lashing of wind. There's not much you can do about it really though, it's just nature doing its thing. So I've come down today with my list of jobs. Believe it or not, I walked onto the plot and I was so busy looking at everything else, I didn't notice this to start with. So I was going bed by bed, thinking about what jobs need doing, and I thought, oh yes, I must get the last of these beans. Gosh, doesn't this place look bare? And that's because I realised that this massive row of gigantes and borlotti, well, they are well and truly decked now. Morning, there I am, there's my shadow. Look at the state of them. So, gosh, that's going to take me a goodly while to sort out. I think all I'm going to have to do now, yeah, there's no chance I'm going to get these standing up again. They weigh an absolute ton, so what I'll do today is I will go through them, rescue all the canes. These were new canes as well, and they've just snapped under the weight. So I'll go through them, separate the pods from the plants, chop the remaining bits of plants up, compost, save the canes, those are worth saving. But it's such a shame because, as you can see, I still had them growing. But I'll do with these exactly what I did with the runners when the runners got trashed. These ones that are green, I'll pod and open freeze them. Rats. And then there's loads, obviously, like this, which have, yeah, they're pretty much dried out. Loads in here. They're pretty much dried out. They feel a little bit damp this morning. I think that's just because we have had rain and there is quite a lot of dew on the ground. And then somewhere under this lot, there are a couple of pepper plants as well, which I'll try and rescue. Grrr. Never mind, I'll save what I can. Oh, and on the other side there's a ton of borlottis. Can I see any borlottis? Are any borlottis? No, they've been absolutely swamped by the gigantes. Right, never mind. Time to get on with the work. Someone was asking me recently how I organise my time when I'm in the garden. They were asking partly because in previous years when I've been working full time, and also this year organising family stuff, you know, do I spend hours and hours and hours on the plot? It looks like it must be loads and loads of hours of work. In truth, it's not really. I reckon I visit 2 or 3 times a week. Generally, when I'm here, I'll do maybe sort of 3 or 4 hours. And then what I try to do is I try to have one day like today that's a bit of a longer session. It just depends on how I feel to an extent. But then, really simply, I go bed by bed. I start at this top bed. It's just habit, routine. And there's a list of jobs that never changes. So, for instance, deadheading, weeding, harvesting, planting, sowing, whatever it is. And I say to myself on one of these longer days, right, you've got 2 hours on each bed. Those 2 hours on each bed also include a couple of tea breaks. maybe 3 or 4 tea breaks, or at least to sit down by the shed. There's no point trying to work for 8 hours without a break. You wouldn't do that in your normal job. Why would you do it in your garden job? So yeah, I find that just doing this list that's always in my mind of the normal stuff, the weeding, deadheading, what have you, and then generally when I leave the plot at the end of a session, in my mind I've got an idea of what needs doing next time. Obviously it depends on the time of year as well, because you know, in the spring it's all about what needs sowing, what needs pricking out, what needs thinning, what needs planting in the garden, are the beds ready, that sort of thing. In the height of summer it becomes all about the weeding and grass cutting, and then we get to this time of year and it's more about harvesting, getting rid of things which are over, getting the ground ready for the winter green manure. So literally all I'm going to do for now this morning here on this bed is do my deadheading. The more deadheading I do, the more flowers I get. Keeps the bees happy. I'll weed a little bit and then I'm going to sort out the chickpeas because they're a bit mashed by the wind, as well as the beans. But we'll come to that in a minute when I've finished deadheading these gorgeous cosmos. They're so pretty. This job's taking me so long, but the weather's changed. I don't mind. It's quiet-ish. Working here on the main path, it's nice because then when people do arrive, when other plotters do arrive, I stop and have a chat. Which is probably why the work got held up a bit. But it's always nice to have a chat, especially at this time of year, because we start to chat about what we'll do next year. Ooh, next year. Ignore the siren. So many bees buzzing around me as I'm working. It's wonderful. And if for no other reason for deadheading, do it for more flowers for the bees. Nearly done. Time to think about the chickpeas. So the poor chickpeas have taken a right hammering from this wind and rain in the last few days. Now, last year, parsnips are in the way. Last year I didn't give them any support and they were absolutely fine. I need another pair of hands. No support and they were fine. But they seem to have had this sort of second, creaky canes, a second spurt of growth. So I just pop these slightly longer canes in and then whiz around the whole lot with some string, just keep them off the floor, because I don't want them, oh my goodness, I don't want them to start rotting on the ground. But it's a bit tricky. And look Look at the size of them this year compared with last. Last year they were sort of to my knee. This year, well, they've gone great guns. Actually, let's move that in a bit. That's better. So this is what I mean about when I've got enough time to be here for the whole day. Literally go around each bed, see what problems there are, and see how I can try and solve them. It's a jungle! Hoopla! Whoa! Hoopla! Right, I need more sticks. So, that is bed number 1 done. Woo! Now, before I start even doing anything in here, I noticed the foxes have been in and chewed a cane. So, I'm just going to get that. Let's sort this out. This is going to work doing it this way. Yeah. Slightly sturdier one. Where's my string? Oh. And once this is fixed, I can think about weeding, getting rid of any of the plants which are over. So the edamame is ready now. Woohoo! Then generally what I'll do is, after doing all 5 of the beds like this, towards the end of my little session, I'll do a quick trim of the paths, and then I'll do a harvest, which is the best bit, obviously. And it might seem a bit mundane and prescriptive even to be quite so methodical about bed 1, bed 2, bed 3, bed 4, weed, but I just find that for me it just helps me to focus my mind and lets me just sort of race through the plot in, hopefully in about sort of 6 hours I'll get the whole plot seen to, and then I know that if I can't make it, if I'm not going to be here over the next week, it's fine, I just leave it alone. And really, once a week, this little sort of topping up session of, you know, fixing structures that the foxes have mashed, a little bit of weeding, it's enough. You know, if you think about how much time I missed through June and July being away, and yet still the garden managed to produce and not become too much of a jungle. So, you know, if you're not a methodical person, ignore me. But if you also are fairly methodical, just try it. Just try saying to yourself, bed 1, bed 2, bed 3, bed 4, cup of tea after each bed, and you're done. Right, so this bed needs weeding. I'm not going to bore you with it. Actually, the weeds aren't too bad at the moment, like I said, because I do keep on top of it. But a quick weed and then we'd be on to bed 3. Oh, so lovely. Sunshine dance. Right, not much to do here. On to bed 4 and the pesky beans. Oh, this is so beautiful. Oh. Just stay here all day. So, the problem bed. I've just quickly taken off any usable beans from these 2 rows, which I've pretty much harvested a week or so ago. They're at home now, podded, spread out to dry. I'm going to get rid of this lot right now in order to have a bit more space to deal with the ones that got blown down. So all I'm going to do at the minute is, oh, sorry, excuse me, bumblebee. I'm just going to cut the plant, each plant at the base, and then I can sort of pull them up and over, as it were. Great year for beans. Normally what I do once I've got these out is I'd give the bed a bit of a tickle, but actually the weather's looking a bit Literally minutes ago, bathed in beautiful sunshine, now the weather seems to be closing in. So my absolute priority now is to get these beans off the ground. I don't want them to stay there and get soaking wet and rot. Once I've done that, if I've got the time then I'll give this whole bed a good weed and just sort of tickle in some of this mulch. It's going to be a bit tricky because the pumpkins are underneath there as well. So hopefully I'll have time to do that. And then the 5th bed, there's not much to do there by way of weeding, just a bit of deadheading. But yeah, let's get on and do this. Let's release all the knots. This is going to take me some time. Why don't you all go and have a cup of tea? It's so wobbly. They're going to go flying. Oh dear. Oh no, I've no room. Oh, Egypt. Let's see now. Oh no. Get yourself lined up, Vivi. Right, hopefully all my rescue beans to the shed to be podded. Oh, brambles! So, hopefully that gives you a little bit of an idea about how I organise and prioritise my time when I've got pretty much a whole day in the garden to play with. I love it when I've got a whole day. The plan for today did change slightly because now, look at it, I've got to go through this lot to get off all my pods. Half of them are dry, half of them are green. I reckon that's going to take me a couple of hours. But I'm so excited to have all my pods. So normally, like I said, at the end of a session, I'd probably do a trim of the grass, a trim of my edges, just last little bits and bobs. Harvest. I always leave the harvesting to the last job of the day because it's my reward for the day, and also it keeps things as fresh as possible for as long as possible. So I've had about 5 hours down here today, had a good whack at all the beds. Now I need to get on with this lot, so the little bit of weeding for that fourth bed and tickling the soil will wait for another day. No hurry. It's getting a bit dark out here, so I think we were forecast rain in a couple of hours. I think it might be coming early. So I am, for now, going to say cheerio. I hope you've enjoyed hanging out with me in the garden today. I've certainly enjoyed your company, as it were. Cheerio. I'll see you all again really soon, I hope. In the meantime, happy harvesting still, and happy sowing and planting down under. See you soon. Take care.